Welcome to Embellish Home with Felicia. In today's video, I will show you how I DIY'd a marble accent table. Marble can be expensive, so this is a great way to add a little bit of luxe in your life for less. I hope you enjoyed this video, so let's jump into it. Okay, for this project, you will need concrete. I use high-strength concrete, Quikrete. You need water, stirring stick, a bucket, and also mask and gloves. You're also going to need joint compound. You will need sandpaper. I use 240 grit, a hacksaw, strong adhesive, a pair of scissors, and tape. You will need a strong adhesive for this project. Make sure that it can bind wood and concrete, and I use Loctite. You will need a megaphone for this project. I found 2 brand new ones from the thrift store, 2 for $5, so $2.50 toward this project. So I looked up on 2 brand new cheerleader megaphones. The handles were still wrapped in the package, and I knew exactly what I was going to do with it. You also need a marble top. I picked this one up at HomeGoods. So here I took my hacksaw, and this megaphone, as you can see, already had dividing horizontal lines, which made it very easy for me to cut a straight line. So I took the hacksaw and lined it up with the first horizontal line and started to cut. Once the saw penetrated through the material, I just kept cutting and rotating the megaphone until the 2 pieces were separated. Next, I took the sandpaper and lightly sanded around the entire top of the base to ensure it was smooth. The megaphone had 2 small holes where the handle would normally go. I used some joint compound and filled the hole from the inside. Here I'm just smoothing out the joint compound so it'll be less to clean up after it dries. Here I'm using packing styrofoam and tracing the top of the base with a marker. So here I am cutting out the circle I just traced, and this is going to be placed on the top of the base to keep the concrete in. Next, place the circle at the top of the base and tape all the way around. This is an important step to ensure that the tape is secured so the concrete will not drip out. Here I flip the base over, just trying to see if it's balanced. I'm using a leveler to ensure that the base is leveled before adding concrete. It's time to mix the concrete. So I've never worked with concrete before. I do recommend following the label and instructions thoroughly. So I did not follow the label. I ended up just adding some concrete into the bucket and ensured that I was working in small batches and adding water until I felt like it was the right consistency. However, you will see later on that it was still too dry, but it was not an issue because you're able to add more water until it is the right consistency. For this step, I used a little bit of cooking oil to add to the bottom of the base before I added the concrete. I'm not quite sure if it helped or not, but it worked out in the end. I did not want the styrofoam to stick to the concrete. Here I just added a piece of tape before adding the concrete just to make sure that the concrete did not push the joint compound out. So here I am pouring the first batch of concrete, and as you can see, the concrete is dry. I did not add enough water. That's why I recommend following the label. However, I just ended up adding water right to the base and mixing it right into the container, and it ended up working out just fine. So this is just a view after 2 small batches, and I end up making a total of 3 batches. So this is my third batch, and I got better with the consistency over time, but as you can see that the third batch looked more like that peanut butter consistency that it should be. So this is how the concrete looked cured after 48 hours. This measures about 6 inches. Here I am just removing the tape and the styrofoam from the base, and you'll notice that one side of the concrete didn't cure all the way to the top of the base. I would recommend, instead of using styrofoam, maybe just some heavy duty plastic to ensure that the concrete can be leveled all the way to the top when it's time to attach the base. Also, you could have fixed this issue by making the styrofoam circle larger than the opening. Here I'm just using some soap and water and a piece of paper towel just to clean off the concrete and also the joint compound around the opening. So here I am just removing the protectors, the felt, and also the labels and the tag. I did get this from Home Goods for $29.99, but using my rewards, I actually got it for free. So here I am preparing to paint the wood around the marble Lazy Susan just so it can match up a little bit better with the gold around the table. I am using Folk Art Outdoor Metallic 1654 Gold. I am just going to paint the rim of the Lazy Susan because that is the only part that will possibly be shown. The bottom half will be epoxied with a strong adhesive to the concrete of the base of the table. So here I'm using the same gold metallic paint and touching up the 2 small openings where I used the joint compound. Another idea is to take round, small marble handles and you can epoxy them over the opening. I was happy with how they turned out once the paint dried. Here I am just making the final touches and I end up going and just cleaning up around where I painted and let it dry. In this step, I am taking adhesive and adding a generous amount. The side where the concrete did not come all the way up to the top of the base, I'm even adding more to try to balance and even out that side. Make sure that you get adhesive right on the very edge of the top of the base to make sure that the wood is going to adhere. I dropped a clip where I added the marble to the top, but the main thing I want you to do is make sure that the marble top is even on all sides of the base. That's important to ensure that the table looks level from afar. What you see me doing here is I took additional adhesive and I added the adhesive at the top of the base going all the way around where the wood meets the top of the table. And then here I am just taking a paper towel and wiping the excess adhesive off the base to ensure that it does not damage the finish. Finally, I'm taking the leveler and making sure that it is level on all sides. The table measures 22 inches tall and the marble is 18 inches wide. I let the strong adhesive cure for 48 hours and the table is complete. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. I really loved how the table turned out, but would be interested to hear, what do you think? If there's something you would consider trying, please let me know in the comment. Please also consider subscribing if you haven't already. Please like, comment, and share, and give the video thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Thank you sincerely for watching. God bless, and I hope to see you in the next video.